Welcome to the Bytecode. I'm your host Shafu, and today's episode is with Shun, who's gonna walk us through the light code base. Shun, thanks for taking the time, man.
Oh no, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. So why don't you briefly introduce yourself? Introduce what light does exactly, and then walk us through some of the code.
Yes, we'd love to. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Shun. My GitHub is github.com/SHUNKAKINOKI. Um, so this is my GitHub. I guess I started coding 2018 through like a serverless AI dot fast AI or something. I got into crypto 2021. Um, my first project was like a DAO called Wagumi DAO. I think it's still alive. It's yeah, it's github.com/Wagumi/Wagumi. It used to have a lot more stars, but we had to reset. So yeah, we had about 50 stars. So what we did initially was that we had like it's a DAO. You can go to gov.wagumi.xyz. It's like one of the first and like the biggest DAOs in Japan. So yeah, it's still operational. Basically, we had like a NFT membership of like Wagumi cats. Um, so these are all like unique DAO people, and it's 97% unique. So I'm really proud of this. But
Nice.
yeah, this was my first project. There, I kind of what did I do 2022, 2023. Oh yeah, so I did like a social explorer. It's in the same like everything I do from like the first commit I started coding is probably open source. Like with the
Nice.
like yeah, I'm an open source max.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this was my first real project. I did like a social explorer to kind of like visualize the connection between like people, like common
Hmm.
DAOs, NFTs. Um, like a social explorer from Ethereum. We kind of marketed as that. However, it had no use case, so um, it kind of just died. Um, yeah. Then we did like a open, like 100% open source like wallet within iOS Safari. So there is actually like a iOS extension capability, like web extension capability inside Safari. Like probably like not no nobody knows, but like there was a way to do that. But now, yeah, it's 100% open source. But now I'm working on Light, which is you can go to the site light.so. Oh yeah, wait. It's, um, so which is like our goal is to make like Ethereum usable like with in a rollup centric roadmap. I guess many of you have realized that there's a lot of chains popping up, L2s, L3s, whatnot. And I frame it in a way more chains, more problems, right? Like every time, if you want to use a new chain, you have to do the same action of bridging. If you run out of gas on that chain, you have to refuel. I just don't want to do this. So that was kind of my main motivation. The dashboard looks like this, where like we visualize like the entirety of your assets, all in one place throughout across chains. Like this, by the way, like this is like you can go to like.so/demo and like see the exact. This is an actual address on mainnet, and I don't know why, but people just can keep sending assets to the demo address, even though like it's just like please stop. Right? I just keep on after refunding. Um, yeah.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
yeah. And yeah, I really make sure to put in effort to kind of like, like these are all like testnet transactions. And so just like if you can go here, and like kind of confirm that this is an actual like transaction. But yeah, it's just for the sake of like the visualization, so you can get on the waitlist. TM. Uh, but yeah, but like the actual code is 100% open source. we have like a version hash attached in the footer, so you can actually reference the exact commit that this web app is on. Um, um, also, it's all Apache 2.0, so it's like fully permissionless. Yeah, I guess that's the brief overview of what I'm working on and what the repo that we're gonna talk to in the next hour or so does.
Nice, man. Yeah, let's
Mhm.
dive into it.
Okay, so this is probably one of the most convoluted repos that you'll ever see. For example, it has like 30 like configuration files just for linting. Um, like I'm a big. Okay, this is not even related to the code, but like I'm a like a I really I'm a like big GitHub Actions nerd. So I have like 30 like GitHub Actions YAML files, and they're all
Damn.
like concurrent. Uh, this is so nerd. like like you can see that on the GitHub Actions, like there's like not like there's like 107 checks, right? So
Dude,
that's
that's
that.
actually that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like I
Uh-huh.
actually just tweeted this, I think yesterday. I just tweeted out where I was like, there's
Yeah.
something magical about a monorepo with good CI/CD.
Uh,
So this
oh,
is pretty cool.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I'm obsessed with CI/CD. Like, I just never want to manually deploy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like I had actually had like a personal like GitHub Actions based um like um like thing back when it came out in 2019. So like these were all like random actions that didn't exist back then. So like I'm really big into GitHub Actions. But
Nice.
yeah, that aside, yeah, so the big overview is that like everything is in one giant monorepo. Um I really I get inspired from like code bases like Facebook. I've heard from like my friend that like Facebook still is one big monorepo. Isn't that crazy? Like Instagram,
Oh,
Facebook web app,
really?
like the entire API. Yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
wow. Okay, yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my hope is to recreate that through 100% open source. Just like
Mm,
so the goal is to have so like in order to make light work, we not only need the smart contracts, we need a gas relayer and we need like a backend API to handle the key stores, the APIs, the configuration. Like it's pretty complex. Like you can go to api.like.so/swagger.ui. Yeah, there's just a lot of endpoints that I had to it's kind of yeah nuts. But yeah, you get the gist of it. The front end to the web app extension iOS,
mm,
and native Android. I hope to make that into one big giant monorepo that is fully open source and that serves one purpose is to make like Ethereum as if it's one. That's the end
nice.
goal.
Nice, man.
Um,
I really like the
yeah.
open source approach here. It's
Oh, I
awesome.
appreciate it. Yeah. So, but like what you might ask, like, why does it need to be open source? So, like I'm an open source maxi, so I'm very biased. But like I really believe that like if you're a wallet, right, like in which one part of the wallet, in which one aspect of VR is definitely a wallet. Um, like if you like if there's like let's say like a supply chain attack where you know like somebody had like a malicious npm package that like you know like stole your private key or something, like it's just bad if you can verify it. Like nobody's able to verify it, right? Because if it's a private repo and like what's the real meaning of like a self custody if like you can't verify it, right? Like you should
Yes.
so like that's where I will die on this hill kind of a moment, but yeah. So everything's open source from everything. Okay, so I guess to kind of like deconstruct this. So the the folders are the Android, which is the Android Kotlin native app. It doesn't exist. It's just for the sake of it,
Okay.
which I will want to. The bin folder, which is where the binary exists, which is responsible for the all the backend. If you go to the Docker file, this is like a Docker file strictly for my Rust binaries.
Yeah.
So these are all the entry points for the releases. So we have an API, a CLI, a consumer for Kafka, for Gas, the indexer, the paymaster, the polling, Prometheus, RPC, etc. And because it's in one single Docker file, we can run an infrastructure that pulls that one Docker file from the GitHub registry, which is publicly available here. So we push every push we automatically. I mean, everybody does this, but yeah, it's all here. Um, what else? So that's the entry point for the API backend. The contracts are here.
So
As
Shun,
per Mhm.
basically every push, GitHub action builds a Docker image and you push that
Mhm.
into some Docker registry.
Yes, exactly. It's
Okay,
on the
okay.
GitHub official registry. This is the contracts file. We made it so that we follow branch testing.
Nice.
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
Shout out to
yes.
Paul. Shout out to Paul
Shout out to
again.
Paul.
This is
Shout
the
out to Paul
second
again.
episode
Uh,
in a row.
uh,
This is the
yeah.
second episode in a row, yeah, where
Uh,
we shout out to Paul. Yeah.
oh, really? Oh, what
Yeah,
was the
yeah, yeah.
previous one about? Just curious.
Rhinestone
Oh,
wallet.
Rhinestone. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, got it,
yeah,
got it. Yeah, a big shout out to Rhinestone too, because we hope to integrate your 75792 standard
yeah.
for our smart wallet as well. Where's the tree files? Um we should have tree files. Uh okay, maybe it went somewhere. But this is supposed to have been integrated in a branching tree mechanism. Oh, there we go. This is tree. Okay. And also it's inside. Not many people notice, but sh shout out to TEVM,
Okay.
TypeScript EVM. It was originally known as EVMTS. I think, yeah, Will's working on this from Optimism. So essentially, what this does is enables you to import Solidity files inside TypeScript code bases. So
Hmm.
you can just like this is really cool, right?
Yeah.
You can call the greet function from the JavaScript or TypeScript file with there's this like TypeScript plugins functionality that probably like Will knows much more than about me. Have you talked to Will?
No. How did
You should
this is the
definitely.
first time I've seen this. This is
Yeah,
crazy. This
this
is
is very
awesome.
deep. Yeah, like and he's been cooking on this for like forever, and like that's really one of the things I really respect. Yeah, yeah, like he's crazy, bro. I love it. Shout out to Will. Yeah. So we also have a test suite built with TEVM or EVMTS back in the day. To For some level of TypeScript testing. For example, I don't know if you could see, but for example, we just like there's this feature in VM or ABI 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 the ABI by the VM W EVM team that the creator of WAGMI and VM to have a human readable representation of the ABI. They had just have it, which is I think is very useful. So we just double check the ABI to see if it matches. Um, I'll get into the contracts later. And here are the Rust crates. So this again, we're a monorepo of both TypeScript and Rust all in one. Um, and to an extent, iOS too, but iOS doesn't really exist now. So this is like a Rust monorepo, a Rust workspace of the different crates that we have that we utilize throughout. Um, I think, yeah, this is a little too much to go through, but yeah, I think there's like we have like 20, 30 crates. Next is packages, which is the Rust, I don't know, which is the TypeScript JS monorepo, which is also like 40, 40, 40 children's. Oh man, crazy.
This is a lot of code,
Um,
man.
yes, it is. I had no choice. I just wanted to get it done. And the apps are here. So like the entirety of the web app is in this file. And the beauty of this is that like this is all compromised of different workspace children. What do you call them? Um sub packages? I forgot. But yeah, like it's really the code isn't like good, but like I made it so that it's well organized. And the dependency, for example, like we have this package called modals, right? If you change the modals, all the applications, the web applications that are dependent on the modals will build only. And for example, the landing page doesn't rebuild because there's no model involved in it. Yeah. And this is all cached through Turbo Repo. Shout out to Vercel for turbo.build. Fun fact, I'm a self-proclaimed Vercel maxi as well. I'm just a big fan of these guys. Like they have all those integrations to cache builds. They're focused on JavaScript, but I made it so that you cache Rust too. Yeah. Um, yeah. There's not much to go through here. Fun, fun fact, because yeah, what else? Yeah, that's the general overview, I guess. Yep. I'm happy to go into like where you think could be interesting for the audience.
Yeah, should we take a look at the contracts?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is the probably the core contracts. So the core signature module, we use this utilize this technology invented by Xerox Sequence called Light State Sync. I'll explain later, but they have a beautiful blog post in which we are fully dependent on. It's on the README. I'll explain later. And Biconomy's multi-chain ECDSA validator, and of course the 4337 contracts. So these are the three contracts that we're dependent on. Um, I mean, there's not much really because we just like all the work is I didn't do it they're the ones that kind of like invented established the standards and everything. So this is probably this piece of line is like entirety of like the core signature validation, right? So how do you validate a signature? So yeah, so what's light state sync by invented by Xerox Sequence. So what light state sync is it solves this problem of having, okay, well, let me show you. So for example, if you go to Gnosis Safe, you have to deploy each contract for each chain, right? Like like they make it so that it is that you can't have a chain like a wallet that syncs across. Um, so this is mainly due to the reason that like the storage is bound to the chain, right? Like of course, right? Like if you change the state on Ethereum on mainnet, it doesn't get reflected on Polygon. Like
Yeah.
Like, what's the point, right? So this is a problem in a cross-chain world where you have the same smart contract wallet, is because, like, let's say you have an owner A and B on mainnet, and you change it to C and D, it doesn't get reflected on Polygon, right? And then
Yeah.
what about the other chain that comes along? What about this new chain? What about Blast? What about the upcoming L2, right? It just gets more worse and worse. So the ability to synchronize state in a smart contract wallet is probably really important in the context of like a multi-chain world. Yeah, do you understand?
I understand the problem. Yes.
Okay. So what Xerox sequence did, I guess we should just look into their contracts. Was this, I mean, shout out to Agus and Felipe, like, and the founder Peter. Probably they invented like this, like, it's just crazy. Um, is that they have like a way to sync, so they compress the configuration of the wallet into single bytes 32 hash, right?
Yeah.
And because it's a single storage, right, you don't run into problems when you're syncing state. For example, if it's a Gnosis safe, because it involves like several storage states, right, there's no really like a guaranteed way to guarantee the upgradability of a wallet, right? Are you with me?
No, I don't fully get. Okay, so
Okay.
it's 32 bytes, it fits in one storage slot, I get that. But
Mhm.
the other part I didn't get.
Okay, so inherently, right? Like if you really think about it, like when you upgrade a wallet, for example, you changed it, like you had a A and B signer, right? And you changed it to
Mm.
C and D. Like that should be like permanent, right? Like you shouldn't have to do that every time. Like if given the context that you want a single like wallet to use across chains.
Okay. So by single time you mean on every chain.
Yes, on every EVM chain.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so what light state sync enables is that like every time you upgrade, it's a chain agnostic signature, right? So that like you can append to the call data or the signature call data to recreate the same bytes 32 hash.
Hmm. Okay. That sounds a bit magical,
Um
to be honest.
yeah, so I mean it really is like when I looked into their code the first time it was like really magical. Um So like this is like the core where do they do that? I mean, why am I talking about this? But like yeah, I mean Agus did all the work, so like he probably you should probably reach out to him if you was. Um yeah, like the signature recovery, first it checks. So let's say like you have a signer C and D on Polygon. Oh, sorry. Let's give in this example. Like, for example, you have, let's say, for the sake of simplicity, you initially deployed a wallet with signer A on mainnet, but then you upgraded to signer B, right? What light state sync enables is that the signature that enabled you to upgrade from signer A to B is chain agnostic and can be reused to recreate the state of the signer B. For example, so in this piece of code, what it's essentially checking is that it acts as if the wallet is signer B, right? So even on Polygon, even if the wallet isn't deployed yet, it acts as if it's signer B. And because if it's signer B, you get to check that this is the image, the byte 30 hash that I'm talking about, 32 hash, and then it appends the signature, the chain agnostic signature that was used to upgrade from A to B, so that it can verify that the not only was the upgrade like the integrity of the upgrade verified, but it also can have the ability for the signer C, even the signer B, even if you don't have the access to signer A, to authorize the upgrade and have admin control over it.
Okay, so basically so the way you would upgrade every wallet on every chain is basically you forward that 32-byte hash signature.
Yep, which is chain
Okay,
agnostic.
I
So
see.
it doesn't. So it's like a ETH sign where it doesn't involve like a chain ID. So that's why it's
Mm,
reusable.
okay.
Uh, yeah, and I guess so. So like this part is all like Xeric Sync, which is light state sync. Um, and this part is where I had this realization that if you could combine this with Biconomy's like multi-chain ECDSA validator, which is like essentially just verifying a local proof, there could be ability to batch execute transactions across chains.
Mm,
So to kind of like separate this into two separate concepts, right? Um, with light state sync invented by Zurich Sequence, especially like Goose, you can guarantee that the state is synced, right? Across chains.
you can
Given that the
guarantee
state
it.
is,
Okay.
yeah, we can guarantee it because as long as you have the appropriate signature to append to
Mm,
recreate the state. Given that you have the same state, you can guarantee it makes it possible to guarantee that you can execute a signature given that the state is synced to batch execute uh, um, a, a batch of user operations that that requires having the same state, right? For example, like if you have A and B, like if you even have the same wallet, but they're different keys all over chains, right? You can't really batch execute transactions, right? Because they're different keys. How do you? There's no way to do that. But if you can guarantee that the state is synced, you now have the ability to batch execute across chains.
okay, Shun, I have a question here. Okay,
Yep.
so let's say I upgrade my wallet and then I upgrade it
Mhm.
again, and I'm doing that on Ethereum, and on Polygon I don't even have a wallet, right?
Yep.
So once I would deploy a wallet on Polygon, then I would chain all these upgrades in order to reach the same wallet state I have on Ethereum. Is that how it works?
Yes, exactly. Thank you
I
for
see.
clarifying.
I
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And because we can do that, it's possible to sign a signature that can work both on Ethereum and Polygon, even if the wallet is not deployed on Polygon, right? So you can make it so
Mm,
that you can send assets on Ethereum to pay for gas to just execute on whatever chain you want.
damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's where I guess our contribution is in terms of like the code and like the bytecode. Like everything is just dependent on like all the work that's done by Zurich Sequence and Biconomy and like much more extent 4237 the team. So
Mm.
yeah, we just built on top of them. Um, so props to them, I think. Um, yeah, I mean the rest is like for example like these like internal calling like I think they like the 7579 sorry 7579 has a probably like a more legit interface so we hope to probably adhere to their standard um what else yeah, it's just a mess at this moment because like everybody has their different like implementations of just like even the call like the batch execution of like call data is like different within the right like for example we just do like raw um raw types but for example 7579 has a separate struct of an array for this. Um, yeah, that's all gear like and we're UUPS upgradable, initializable, so it's a proxy.
Yeah.
Um, the factory is here. Nothing special. It's not gas optimized too, so it's like probably like I think people listening to this podcast probably would be like no, that's not the way. Um, yeah, so yeah, like before creating this, I wanted to dig into like how all the other your 4337 wallets worked. So I just pulled like from in this monorepo, like all the main wallet um contracts and see how they work. So I
Okay.
remember doing that like for a month and kind of like yeah, there was a testing suite for all of the other wallets to see compatibility, and once I was confident, I deleted them, but it's still somewhere in the history. We have a fork test. Um, we have a fuzz test. We have an integration test, unit test. I think it's structured well, IMO, but yeah, that's like the entirety of the contracts, I guess. In separate from the, if you go to security.md, there's a list of all the like the deployments on each chain, right? Like this is also a pain in the multi-chain world because like really like it's such a pain to deploy it on each of every one of these chains, like especially before blobs, right? Like it costs, yeah, man, it's
I
crazy.
like the address mining though.
Oh yes, yes. Let me take you through that. Thank you for realizing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we have a crunch factory script. So I think vectorized like had a patch for the create to crunch, of course, by zero age. And yeah, it's just yeah, yeah. All the deploy
Nice.
contracts, including the Hmm?
How long does it take these days for 7 zeros?
Oh, not long actually. So like everybody that is familiar with this, use Vast.ai. Like
Hmm,
you can rent a GPU per minute, and it's super cheap. Like I
oh,
don't,
nice.
yeah, yeah. It really can be done in like matter of like 30 minutes, like less than that.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah. We track the code size for just the sake of it. The storage layouts, just the sake of it. I think I first saw this from Nocturne, yeah, Nocturne XYZ, which was like a privacy preserving 4337 on mainnet. So they had this like cool like feature that they omitted the contract storage and the bytes and offset for every contract they were deploying. I thought that was super smart because like I've never seen such a thing. Um, like like it helps to visualize, right? Like what, like reason, yeah.
Yeah, I think okay, so the snapshot can be generated by Forge, I think.
Oh, really? Right now? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, yeah.
familiar
I'm
with that.
pretty
Yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure.
got it. I think I'm late on that. I think we have
Mm.
I have a custom script to do that. Yeah, probably they have it now. Yeah, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Oh, yeah. The rest is all like backend interface infra code. So, I guess my focus was more on that rather than the contracts. The contracts I got it done pretty quick. So the rest was like just how to make there's a lot of off-chain components involved. So, yeah. You want
So
me to take you through that?
you
Yeah.
know what would be
Or
interesting, man, would be
yeah.
like to actually experience an action, you
Oh,
know?
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, 100%. So this is an actual working demo live um through bytecode. Let's do it. Do you have an ENS?
Yeah, shafu.eth.
Okay, let's go. I'll send you some USDC.
Oh, thanks, man.
So I'll send you 3 USDC.
Oh,
And just for the sake of it, I want to prove that you can batch execute transactions, right, across networks.
nice.
So I'll send you a one on Gnosis chain. I'll send you XI, right? What was it insufficient? Okay. Hmm. Fucking bug. Okay, here we go. I just chose with. And so if you can see on the URL, I don't think it's showing, but we encode the entirety of the call data that is used to transact. So like if you share the link of this screen, like it can get instantly reflected anywhere. So like every transaction that you can express is in a single hyperlink across chains, which I think personally is cool.
That's awesome, man.
Um,
Okay, so you're
so
trying, so
yep.
basically you're, okay, so you're,
Mhm.
okay, sending me USDC on Gnosis and Arbitrum 1 in one basic, okay, you only need to sign it once and the rest happens
Yep.
in the background.
Yes. And all disclosure, like I probably pitched it as you can pay in any gas token. Um, this is like technically like 100% possible right now, but it's not implemented yet. So it's just for the sake of it. But it's just like you understand it. It's just like adding one transfer to here, so it's not like different. Like it's insignificant compared to. So there's a loading screen. We create the transaction. If you can see, it says transactions as opposed to transaction. It was successfully created. We're supposed to send the transaction. Yep. The reason that it is not going through for one, oh, it did. Is that like bundlers? We have like a round robin like RPC proxy for bundlers. Um, and I've kind of found it through making this that the experience of the bundlers are kind of inconsistent, right? So like we need care in the front end to make this happen. Um, yeah, so it just executed, and I transferred you 3 USDC on Arbitrum mainnet, and thanks to Blobs, it's 2 cents.
Damn. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for the 3 USDC. Well, this is, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's my
yeah.
first real-time demo. And yeah, I just
Nice.
transferred you Weth too in one
Wow,
go.
this is awesome, man. Yeah, this is really cool.
Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot.
Yeah.
And what's more, is that these are not my funds. Somebody sent it to the demo address. So please, if you're listening, please do not send funds to the demo address because like I own the keys. It's just a donation. If you ask on Discord, I will pay you back, but please no more.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're currently also working on a browser extension, is that right? Or no?
Yes. So
Okay.
our next step is the browser extension. Or by the
Mm.
way, isn't this beautiful?
It
Like,
is,
like,
it is, man. I
yes.
agree.
Thank you so
It
much.
is.
Thank you
I
so much.
agree 100%.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you so much.
This is the
And
future. This is the future. Yeah.
yes, this is the future. Yeah, thank you. Please proliferate this. This is the future. So if you
It
think,
definitely is. It definitely is, yeah.
okay, will you allow me to go nerdy on like the front end? Um,
Go for it, man. That's
okay.
what we're doing on the bytecode.
Thank you so much. So when you click see details, you notice that, okay, I don't think it shows on the screen, but these are 2 URLs, right? Um, so I can share this link and remember this is one static link. if I reload it, it doesn't show the modal, right? It goes directly to a static page where there's no background, right? And this is true for all interactions built on Light. For example, if you go to deposit and select a token, it's encoded in the URL. So if you refresh this, or like say you wanted to like send it to a friend, I'm thinking of Sagmatic, it automatically is encoded in a state, right?
Nice. Is
Um,
this a custom thing, or are you using library for this or something?
yeah, it is. Yes, I am indeed using the library. We are built on open source. I am an open source maxi. Is by called NUQS Nux, which
Nux.
is the short for Next.js use query state.
Hmm. Okay, you encode the state in the URL itself. Nice.
Yeah, so this is the thing.
Mm,
I think
mm.
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the point is that like not only is the all your interactions encoded in a URL state. I mean, like it doesn't really matter for the deposits, but like I think it matters to a lot of extent for the actual like transfers, right? Because like you can share this URL and anybody can execute the same exact transactions, and that is not within the confines of one chain. It's multiple,
Mm.
right? I think I like so any like transaction state function is encoded within the Ethereum ecosystem. It can be and is encoded in one URL like query state. I think that's very like how GitHub like it made it possible for like like to have like state like for example like even if you close the branch, right, like that like git commit and the file commit hashes are like actually retrievable they are actually retrievable like, because GitHub just stores this. Um, but like it's like that, right? Like so every state function is encoded in a URL state, which can be replicated, shared, and collaborated upon, which is a very nerdy, but perhaps enables some use cases such as like embedded dApps or to other extent like wallets. So for example, you can share like a single URL to other, your friends. Oh, I'm minting this NFT. Are you in? Right? And that person can click the link and just execute inside that link. And this is all done in a chain agnostic manner.
Nice, man, nice.
Yeah.
This actually reminds me a lot of Peanut Protocol. I also
Oh,
had them
really?
on the podcast. Yeah, they're basically what
Okay,
you can
cool.
do through Peanut is you can
Uh-huh.
send someone an ERC20 token through the URL, basically through a link.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've heard. Yeah. In our sense, I guess we take it like further because any Ethereum like call data is accessible.
Mm.
Plus, the gas subsidization is also cross-chain, chain agnostic. So it just like do whatever you want, take it from there kind of moment. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I guess
that's
that's anyway.
dope, man. That's dope.
Thank you.
So yeah, well, so okay, if we think about the future, okay, well, what
Mhm.
future do you see? Do you think a normal Web3 user will never know which chain he's currently on? Will this be just abstracted away?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I have the correct or even the right, close to right answer, but my personal opinion is like I think the analogy is close to a bank.
Mm.
You know how like there's like probably like hundreds, if not set like several thousands of banks you never heard of, like regional banks, right? Like
Yeah.
you never interact with them, but like some people need it, of course, for their livelihood. And because that is kind of like what their life is centered around in that particular like region or like ecosystem if is in crypto. With that being said, because crypto moves so fast, because everything's open and interoperable and composable, there will definitely be a more extreme power curve where one rollup probably dominates most of the block space.
Mm.
But I guess like if you really look into it, like I think some people say like block space will go to zero, but I don't think that's the right way to look at it because like what like chains are inherently doing is they're selling their own unique superset of what that your chain can uniquely offer, what your block space can uniquely offer, right? Um, for example, like Arbitrum block space and Optimism block space is technically different, like security wise, even though if it's the same um optimism optimistic rollup. And of course, ZK rollups are different. And if you take it to L3s, like which like do you settle on base? Like what's your data availability stack, right? So all of like what chains are selling is their own unique attributes of what your block space can bring to users. And all of, I think so that implies that like block space, like all block space will not go to zero. No, that's not the right way to look at it. I personally think there are different characteristics of what each chain's block space brings to the table. And therefore there will be a long tail of chains that provide their own unique superset. And so to answer your question, I think that mm, yeah, there will be a long tail of rollups networks as there is in ERC20s because crypto is about long tail. No, isn't crypto about long tail? Right. No.
Dude, yeah, I really like the bank analogy, the
No.
bank comparison. So yeah,
Mm.
you probably okay. Basically, like my bank would be Ethereum. All my value is stored on Ethereum, and someone
Mm.
else has all his stuff on Arbitrum. And what
Mm.
is abstracted away is basically okay. Send me some USDC on Arbitrum, and for me,
Mm.
as someone on Ethereum, it's basically just one click. It's not the
Oh yeah, yeah,
bridging. It's
it should
not
be one
the
click. It should be one
yeah.
click, 100%. It should be one click, except
Yeah.
I don't think it'll can like for example, in the context of like an application, like a game, let's say, like of course it'll be abstracted away. Nobody cares, right? But like do I care that I store my money in Wells Fargo as opposed to some regional bank in some whatever country? Of course I care, right?
Yeah.
That's what block space is. Like the security and the brand, the recognition, the awareness of block space matters.
Yeah. 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 Awesome, man. So what's up? What's up next for Light?
Yeah, so if you can go to a waitlist.light.so, we are gradually onboarding people on a rolling basis. So if you can sign up for here, that'll be great. We're looking for people who are interested in contributing to Light. It's fully open source, so if you want to take a look, or if you have questions, I'm happy to answer anytime. Um, and yeah, just would just love to collaborate with crowd projects, chains to like because it's not about, I guess, just us being good, right? Like in order for this to work, like every chain project that kind of has to like settle to one and collaborate to some extent if we want to make this interoperable and just like work. It just doesn't, it has to work. I really feel it, like it should work. It just breaks if it's like you have to bridge to new chain. It's all segregated. Like what's the point then? Like what's the, is it supposed to be like, it should be a one unified experience. Either we make this together or we use Solana. So it's all monolithic. So like, which world do we want? Um, is
Yeah.
kind of my honest belief here. But I believe I think that both in the end more and more ecosystem will coexist with one another. I think that's pretty apparent. But don't as at this rate, like if this doesn't work, and like my mom will never be able to comprehend like bridging, gas refilling.
Yeah,
What the fuck does that even mean, right? Excuse me
yeah.
for English, but like
Oh,
it
you
has
can
to
say
work.
whatever you like here.
Yeah.
No worries.
It has to work. It has to be like frictionless, seamless, the complexity abstracted away. And I hope to have keep keep contributing, showing what's possible on this standpoint. Yeah.
John, listen, man, this was awesome. I really like all the good work on the account abstraction stuff. We really need it. Like
Mm.
if we wanna have mass adoption, we really need this stuff. So yeah, great work. Thanks for taking the time. I'm gonna put in all the relevant links, the GitHub,
Thank you.
the web page, the your Twitter,
Yeah.
the light.so Twitter. The would be awesome if you could send me the links to the stuff we talked about in the beginning, the
Yep.
synchronization stuff, the
Mhm.
blog post.
Yep.
I will put all of them in the description down below. So yeah, Sean, thanks again, man. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you, Shafu. Means a lot. It's really fun
Awesome,
too.
man. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
See you.